There is a very distressing situation now on social media where people are getting to us at the very, very last minute. And what's happened, very often we can't do anything about them because they've taken advice from people on social media. And they might be well-meaning, and I know the campaigners out there are magnificent at what they do. They know the law inside out, they know all the statutes, etc., and they know how the social services complaint system works. The problem is, once you've put in a complaint about a social worker, Kafkas, anybody else in authority, you cannot use it again in the family court. And as many, many parents have found out, the judge just looks at it, or the sheriff looks at it, and social services look at the sheriff or judge and say, that's already been dealt with, Your Honour. Here's the documents and here's the outcome for the complaint. Right, let's move on to the next item. What have you got, social services? Well, we've got a load of evidence that we didn't tell the parents anything about. So they're completely unprepared. They haven't had time to look through everything because we sent them masses and masses of paperwork. And there's only a few pages of it that are actually relevant. So finding those few pages and coming to any kind of conclusion from that is virtually impossible for these parents. And they know what they're doing in the family court system. For one thing, we all know that they're all in league with each other in the court. There's a lot of collusion goes on. But rightly or wrongly, that's what happens, a lot of collusion. And that's, strictly speaking, collusion between two different people in opposite sides of the same case. I don't know what the legal stance is on that, but it's allowed. I've taken Solicitors Regulation Authority complaints through to the very, very end. And it's allowed. They can do that, and it's within the law for them to do that, to deceive the courts in such a way that so long as it's what the client has said, in other words, whatever social services have said, the solicitors will back them up on that. Whether it's true or not, the solicitor only has to say, well, that's what the client told me. So you get situations where there's two horrendous cases, and they both went through into the same inquiry, Star Hobson and Arthur Lebenjo Hughes. Now, those two children went to the wrong parent and the wrong partners, and nobody got really particularly reprimanded or even told off, and nobody stood any consequences of those two for what happened to those two children. I won't go into the details, it was horrific. So nobody served a jail sentence or anything like that. They simply passed the buck. Somebody on top says, we need so many more children to go into social care. And they will provide those children. And the way that they do this is to give the child to the least capable parent. The least appropriate parent, let's put it that way. Even though the reports might go against them and the record might go against them and they maybe have a terrible reputation, it will all go against them. And the child will go to the most incompetent parent, so that the parent who does have the capacity and the ability and the integrity to look after their child will lose their child and go to what it would be an easy target. Now, I'm calling them an easy target. Okay, for one thing, they're going to be easy targets for every perpetrator out there in the country. Another way they'll be an easy target is for social services, having taken their photographs of these children, all the details and everything they've already got, and advertise them on an adoption agency or hiring them out as foster children to foster homes, allegedly. then there's nothing much the parent can do about that. Having gone to the worst parent, it means that when they do eventually find someone who wants that child or wants to adopt that child, they can charge them a load of money. It goes into hundreds of thousands. And then all they've got to do is to fall into the home where the inadequate parent lives and tell them, we've come for your child, you were given a really bad report in the court, so don't bother trying. We've already closed the case and they're up for adoption now. There's nothing much you can do. You may go through the procedures, but we all know that this collusion between solicitors, and you have to choose a local solicitor. So you imagine it, these solicitors, barristers, judges, sheriffs, everybody in the entire system, they're all workmates. They'll know each other. They're not going to cause any problems. There's somebody at the top will say, well, I want this to happen and I want that to happen. Okay, and in they go, and it's like an amateur theatre production. Well, I'll come in as the angry solicitor challenging you, and then you can say this and you can say that. And the whole thing's like a cheap drama. If you get a solicitor from outside your area, you're on a winner, but you're not allowed to do that anymore. They won't let you do that. You won't get legal aid. If you go outside of your own area, you will not get legal aid for that solicitor. So it's just like rolling a dice, and it's like rolling a dice, and they're all with all the same numbers on every side. It's just you're not going to win, and they've got everything stacked against you. And they do this deliberately. Please do not fall for this trick over and over and over again. I know people have the kindness in their heart and they've got the objectives of a saint. But when you're in family court proceedings, keep your mouth shut. Don't tell them anything unless you have to. And if you're not really sure that you want to tell them anything, just say, well, I'll talk about this in court. Remember, in court, it's all been written down, the stenographer's there, it's been recorded, it's all been documented, evidence, etc. And you'll be in front of a judge or a sheriff and all these different witnesses in the courtroom. So you can be safe in waiting your time, biding your time till the right moment to put those questions that you have, instead of to the ombudsman and everybody else. Just wait until the person who deceived the court, let's put it that way, misled or deceived the court, or was intending to mislead and deceive the court. Wait till they are under oath. Bide your time, wait till the right moment, and then you have to talk like a barrister. And what does a barrister do? You watch them. They get the person to admit they did something stupid. Did you write this report? Yes, I did. Did you write this in this report? Yes, I did write that. What evidence did you have? Oh, nothing. It was just speculation, hearsay, conjecture. Well, actually, I have evidence to prove that what you wrote in that report was false. No conjecture, no speculation, no hearsay, evidence. Bingo, you have nailed them, because they're in a difficult situation. Either they have falsified a report, which is contempt, or if they lie about something that they said, about whether if they have evidence and they haven't written down, that could be perjury. Because if they're saying something they can't prove, it's up to the judge whether or not they have committed perjury. So either way, they risk a 2-year prison sentence. Certainly for some kind of misconduct within the court. So you don't say anything, you just bide your time and wait until the right moment. Because if you go in all guns blazing into your case, and this is the law and that's the law, and you know every statute in the book, and you know about common law, and even maritime law, I've heard them talk about that, and Magna Carta, not really relevant to the family courts today. Please subscribe if you haven't done already, and tick on the bell for notifications, and click a like if you liked the video. Thanks for listening, I do appreciate it, thank you.